Da-na-na-na-na. Wait. Wrong series. Wrong series.
Yep.
That's the X-Men. Wish we could talk about the X-Men, but
Back.
I already did it.
Are we doing an X-Men 97 video? Because if so, I need to know so I can start the show.
Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe. If this video does well, we'll do it.
So we're charging you, the audience, for making this a
You want
successful
to see it?
video.
Probably not.
But no, we're not talking X-Men.
No.
We're talking about another series, another franchise.
The MCU.
The DC Cinematic Universe.
Extended universe.
Universe, sorry.
DCEU.
Yes. Which, it's almost blockbuster season.
Yeah.
Technically, once Godzilla and Kong comes out, it's blockbuster season.
We're here.
So what better way to ring in that season than talk about one of the monumental failures of blockbusters? So yeah. 16 movies.
Really?
And we're gonna do a tier list.
Yeah.
The big caveat is there's no S tiers here. We know it going in. Like there's a case for maybe the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
But also it's the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I mean, I would say there's a case for no, maybe not S tier. I don't. It's just, gosh.
Yeah.
You're telling me they made 16 movies between 2013
Yes.
and 2023?
Hey.
Gotta give it up for that.
Hey,
That's just,
Warner Brothers.
Who else?
Just put money into this.
That is nuts.
Technically, one of the movies they released twice because there's a different cut.
Well, maybe there's another cut of another movie. I want to say though too, we are big fans of the characters.
Yes.
I think there are a lot of great characters. But yeah, we're not.
It's the stories.
I just don't want to be accused of just loving Marvel.
No. But I do love Marvel.
I do too, but I don't want to be like.
I mean, we got Batman here.
We got Batman, and we got Hellboy technically.
And the Flash.
And we got the Flash.
So look at that. Let's bring him to the front.
There we go. Hellboy kind of maybe the back, because it's kind of DC, but maybe not.
So let's get started with the first movie, Man of Steel, Zack Snyder, riding off high, produced by Christopher Nolan himself.
Yep.
Henry Cavill as Superman. Great Superman.
Yeah.
Looks 100% the part.
Yeah.
Characterization-wise, not that good.
It's that we don't kind of know where we're going yet. So let's just kind of copy the mold from Batman Begins.
Yes.
And that's fun to some point. It does. It's a lot.
Yeah. Michael Shannon as Zod is great.
You burn Zod very quickly.
Yeah.
One of the all-time greats. And you're just let's just do it first. And there's not a lot of Clark Kent. It's I love Superman, but I love watching Clark Kent.
Yeah, I love him being a journalist and also going to save the day.
Yes. But I think it's got a great cast.
Yeah.
Amy Adams, I think it's a decent Lois Lane.
Russell Crowe for a cup of coffee.
Russell Crowe. Yeah, not terrible.
No.
Pretty solid, Jor-El. And then, you have Lawrence Fishburne as Perry White, and so I think he's solid. And a couple other bit players here and there. Kevin Costner. Love Kevin Costner.
And I definitely did not like his character in this movie.
Yeah.
Perhaps one of the dumbest ways to prove Superman this is why I should help people.
Yeah.
Perhaps the dumbest way possible.
The dumbest death. Especially Kansas, I think is Tornado Alley, at least adjacent, if not in the Tornado Alley.
Right.
And no one thought, we should get under this overpass, which we all know is not what you do.
No.
And he's
just go.
Hang on.
So I'm gonna say B. What do you?
I'll say B.
I think B is a good.
The color's a little off. It really does start this
what
if we just made everything kind of washed out?
Then immediately you think, they're gonna go the Marvel route, build up every character first before they come together. No. We get Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice, with Wonder Woman playing a big part in the movie.
Big part, and then you also get Bruce Wayne, and Batman, and
he's a murderer.
He's a murderer, and it's very much a Dark Knight Rises. No, sorry, not Dark Knight Returns esque kind of he's kind of old, but not really old, but kind of broken. And
he's seen it all.
He's cynical.
It starts off really great. You get Batman's perspective of the attack.
Yeah, and I was at the time amped about Ben Affleck being.
Yeah.
I mean, because he's like hot off of Argo and The Town, and I'm like,
and he was amped,
and like he was pumped, and it's like for him to come back to superheroes, and for him to be excited, and you're like, oh, and there was like, and he's gonna direct his own Batman movie, and you're like, oh, this is gonna rule.
Yeah,
and then
it takes all the wrong turns.
Yeah,
every time you think it's gonna do something cool, it's like, we're just gonna go that way.
Yeah,
and then obviously everyone has memed to death Martha.
Well, I think too, this is the beginning of these two movies really start a lot of bad things, but like, no, the studio wanted him to cut it down, but he's got the real cut. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, Watchmen had a longer cut, but the original Watchmen cut is watchable. Mm-hmm. And like, this is watchable too. Yeah. But to then be like, well, no, hang on, there's going to be an even better cut.
Yeah.
And that still continues to this day with Rebel Moon, that he's like, no. I wait till you see the full cut. And you're like, why don't you just do the full cut then?
Yeah. So if we're giving Man of Steel a B, by extension, I think this has to go to C, right?
Yeah. Well,
it can't be B.
It cannot be B.
And I don't think it's a D. Because
No. I think there's some. Yeah, there's some. I mean, Jesse Eisenberg is trying something, and you can't get too mad at him for that. And then it's just weird. You forget that like kind of Doomsday is in this too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Kind of, and it's just I kind of forget everything, the Holly Hunter stuff.
Then we get Suicide Squad, directed by David Ayer. Well, I will say directed, because they cut this. The
edited
studio
by a trailer company, probably.
The studio cut this thing.
Yeah.
Forwards and backwards. Obviously, Jared Leto's gangster Joker,
he's so twisted,
which is just. Yeah, he's very twisted. Just a dark mind, you know. But if you think about the movie, have seen the movie, you know that Joker is pretty much cut out of the movie.
Yeah.
There's almost nothing to his character. Yeah. So like when people say they don't like this version of the Joker, it's because we didn't get it. We just got like an essence of what we thought was going to be the Joker.
Yeah. It's weird. I don't know if I would have liked this anymore had it been the full.
Yeah.
Because Ayer is it's an acquired taste.
Yeah.
That I just have never really loved. The fact that no one like wraps their brains around that you do not want to be Harley Quinn and the Joker, and all this did was like, hey, you know what you should be for Halloween?
Harley Quinn and the Joker.
And I'm like, it's bad.
I will say Will Smith, I mean, I know he probably negotiated it. His is the best character.
His is the best character. I do love Jai Courtney as Captain Boomerang.
Yeah.
I just thought it could have been done better.
I think we give us an F, right?
I would 100%
It's on the cusp of being so bad it's good to watch.
But it's an Oscar award-winning movie.
That's right. Oscar award. The only one that's Oscar award-winning on this list.
Man.
So now let's get to Wonder Woman, which as we know is Gal Gadot.
Yep.
The first one, for sure, 100% is just like, while it is sort of Captain America, the First Avenger, it does do its own thing.
Yeah.
It does have the same premise and plot, kind of. But the third act
gets a little monstery and smoke, which is fine. But no, I really like this movie. I think I remember watching it at the time like this really is like really solid. It's just really cool. It's a cool period piece. I think it excels because it is so disconnected from everything else. Besides the weird like, hey, Bruce sent me this picture at the beginning and end. Yeah. But it really I think that's what makes it great. Is it's so separate.
All right, so A.
I give it an A.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you're allowed to fight me on these,
I don't want
like physically fight me.
Okay. We'll wrestle later. There may be a couple later.
All right. Justice League, I'm going to include both the original and the Zack Snyder cut.
Because they're both bad.
They're both bad. Just bad to be bad.
Yeah.
Bad motivations, bad characterization, acting pretty much from everyone's terrible.
Yep.
The Flash, not fun.
Awful. And there's a video where we talk a lot about our thoughts on Ezra Miller's Flash.
Yes.
And so we will not get into it. But yes.
But yeah, just everything about this is bad. We're putting an F already.
Both of them.
Yes,
because
both
honestly,
F.
you know what really got it there too? the annoyance of release a Snyder Cut, I just don't care.
The Snyder Cut stuff, while it's great that the fan base of Zack Snyder is so strong, like I appreciate their fanness, but at the same time I don't.
Yeah.
Because we got the Zack Snyder Cut, and while it improves some things, it doesn't fix the issues.
It also added like 2 hours.
Yes.
And I do not enjoy that. And again, not to say that what happened to him, awful.
Yes.
And it's very sad.
Yeah.
And what DC did to like scrap it together, also awful.
Yes.
But I just don't know if there was a good movie in there to begin with.
No,
so.
I don't think there was. Yeah. Then we go to Aquaman.
Yeah.
Really fun to watch.
Fun movie, not good.
Not good.
Not good.
Not good at all.
And I think it's really defined by the needle drop of Pitbull's Africa.
Yeah.
That like will forever stick in my brain to be like, when people are like, "That's a great movie," I said, I don't know if it is. It's fun.
Yeah.
I'll watch the heck out of it.
Yeah.
I love Patrick Wilson.
A great TV movie.
Yes.
You're at the hotel and it's on TV
movie.
And you're like, oh, I'll watch it.
Yeah, it's probably playing on TNT right now. But like,
what grade would you give this?
You know, do we have any B's? Yeah, we have.
Yeah, we got 1 B.
I'll give this a B.
Okay.
Like a high B, like
yeah.
higher than Man of Steel.
Yeah.
But like not Wonder Woman level.
Right.
Insane to me that it is the highest grossing one of these things. And this is where we really kind of thought, oh, maybe we're on it. Because it was the kind of the not 1-2 punch, but it was like the Wonder Woman, and now we have Aquaman. Okay, maybe
we got something.
And they're from like not auteur directors, but like directors that have like a visual style. I'm like,
okay,
here we go.
We think we're cooking with gas,
and you get a couple more, and you're like, okay, yeah, okay,
yeah. So speaking of, I don't like this movie, but Shazam,
I do like this movie.
He likes the movie.
Yeah.
You know, I'll let you talk about it.
I just think it's a lot of fun that like you take this premise, you make it. It's like big. Everyone knows that, but like, you know, say what you will about Zachary Levi, I think he does a good job, kind of mimicking Asher Angel, and who is really great, and just to really have a story that isn't like that at its core is a family story and like a story about adoption and being like forgotten.
So what do you want? I'm gonna let you give this.
I would give this one, just because it's me, I'd give it a B.
Okay.
You know,
I'm not gonna fight you, but I would probably give it a D.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, we'll talk about the sequel and why I think it probably gets downgraded. Anyways, then we get to one of the 2 COVID movies.
Yeah.
Birds of Prey: The Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn, later renamed to Harley Quinn: Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
This movie's awesome.
It does.
It's really fun. I mean,
right?
Yeah, low stakes.
Yep.
Just Margot Robbie having fun. Yep. Ewan McGregor having fun.
Yeah, Chris Messina having a blast.
Oh, having a big blast. Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Yeah, Journey Smollett.
Yeah.
Just so many good people. Rosie Perez. It's just fun. It's a really it is like a team movie. I'm not saying this is what Suicide Squad should have been.
Yeah.
But it feels a little bit more like they don't like each other. They're just doing it for this one thing. They all have their own motives. But it's just cool, and it's just like showing off powers, you know.
Yeah.
So
it's a simple, light, fun movie.
Yeah, and then like the fight at the end with the roller skating is cool. It's just really neat. It's a lot of fun, and it really does like. It was a smart move to say, hey, let's take this one very popular character from Suicide Squad and blow it up, but also let's try to do a little bit more groundwork on. You don't totally want to be like her, but also she's her own person outside of Joker. Yeah. So it was really cool. So,
kind of redeems her character a little bit.
And, man, that egg sandwich still looks really good.
Oh, it looks really good. Just so A alone for the egg sandwich. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then we get to Wonder Woman 1984. You know, when we first watched this movie, because we reviewed it, it's on the channel somewhere, we liked it. But now having thought about it and thinking about the geopolitical aspect of the movie and also the sexual assault of an unknowing man, which I think we talked about in the original review, it has not aged. It has aged like milk pretty quick.
Yeah. Do we owe an apology?
Yeah, I think
probably.
so.
Yeah.
I think we were just so happy to see a movie in the COVID year that we were just like, oh.
Yeah. You know, and really, I think we were a little tough on this is, side tangent. But, I think that love should have been given to Tenet a little bit more.
Yeah. Maybe
I think we were
so.
a little tough on Tenet.
The promotion for this movie was really great.
Yeah.
The poster's awesome. Yeah. The trailer's great.
And Pedro is having a blast.
I love the character that Pedro is playing. I just wish he was in a different movie.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's like a... Is that a D?
That's a D.
Yeah. Because it's still... There are still, like, some really cool moments and shots and ideas. I mean, Kristen Wiig is really great, too. Like,
it's when you start to deconstruct the movie... Yeah. It's like, you may have had fun watching it, but then when you deconstruct, you're like, oh, okay, well, maybe not.
Yeah.
Then we get to the other Suicide Squad, the Suicide Squad, a bomb, a box office bomb.
Huge bomb.
And it kind of had COVID to blame, but it was in a down, like there was less cases. I think just the naming of it and also the hate that the first Suicide Squad got. While I don't think it's as great as other people say, I think it gives us a lot of great characters.
Yes.
Yeah. Like mainly Peacemaker, John Cena. Yes. There's an argument that this is the only S tier.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think so. Yeah.
So just to be nice,
I think it looks incredible. The characters are all great. I just don't. I think maybe, and I think our problem was we were maybe just a little too hyped for it.
Yeah.
And it just didn't live up to it.
No, there's not as much humor as you expect in a James Gunn thing. Which in Guardians, I guess this movie kind of prepared us for what was going to happen in Guardians. Yeah. So. It's a little too serious, but it's still fun.
Yeah.
And the fight with Rick Flag and Peacemaker at the end is one of the greatest superhero fights. So, and they're not even superheroes.
And it bums you out that that Rick Flag is killed. You're like,
oh, it's such a bummer
because it really is just a great redemption for Joel Kinnaman as well. And it is a bummer.
We're gonna move to Black Adam. I think some people you haven't watched this.
I haven't seen it.
I think some people treated this one too harshly because. At the time, The Rock sort of just took over, was trying to take over the DCEU, very Black Adam-esque, trying to bull his way in.
Yeah. DCEU, coup.
And he almost succeeds, and then James Gunn obviously takes over. But this movie, yes, the kid in the movie with a skateboard ripped straight from a 90s movie. Most of the plot does not make any sense. The characterization of Black Adam does not meet the comic book at all. Does kind of. But I will say, Pierce Brosnan's character is great. The team that they come together, it's like there's no way that they're stopping Black Adam. But they actually know that in the movie.
Yeah.
They're just trying to contain him.
Do you think that, I don't want to get into too much in this, do you think that this would have been better as you introduced Black Adam in a Shazam movie? And that this is a lot of The Rock being like, oh, no, I don't need Shazam.
I want Superman.
Yeah. And that kind of no, people really want you to fight Shazam because you are tied to that franchise. And it's he was like, no, we're fine.
I think if...
And then you get a Black Adam movie after that.
I think if Shazam wasn't such a geek, yes. Yeah. Because in the second Shazam, which we're going to talk about, he's very much a geek, right? Yeah. And they ruin kind of what they set up in the first. But I think knowing that the Shazam sequel, Flash, Blue Beetle, and Aquaman were all kind of letdowns, not only as movies, but as box office, I think people treated Black Adam a little harshly. I'm going to give it a C.
Okay.
I'm not going to say I'm not going to say it's great, but I think people treated it too harshly.
Yeah. And I think, too, we're really, as you kind of touched on, we're really getting into now, things are about to change.
It's over.
And everyone's kind of heard why do I need to go see Black Adam? It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, exactly.
So the hierarchy was forever changed.
It literally was.
It literally was.
And then we get the Shazam sequel, which you've seen, I have not seen.
And listen, I haven't even seen all of it. I've seen maybe half of it because I just stopped watching it.
Yeah.
And it really does. It's shocking that it is Sandberg again. And because you want it to be good because the first one was so good. But I don't even know what the problem is.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is, one, people just did not care at this point. They were like, hey, yeah, you guys are down the toilet anyways. Just, and there's not it's not terrible. I don't know. It's again, I've only seen half of it, but was not good. I do love an Adam Brody though. I think he's just
doing his own thing.
He's just a peach, and I love him,
Rachel Zegler's in this.
Rachel Zegler. I mean, Helen Mirren is in this movie, and Lucy Liu as the bad guys. And we're just I don't care.
So what letter grade Do we put a incomplete since you didn't finish it?
You know, we could probably give it like a D.
I think we're okay giving it a D.
It's like
no one's gonna fight us on that one.
It's probably just serviceable and okay. It's probably a good plain movie, you know.
The Flash. I think we're giving this one an F.
Can we just go ahead and give it an F?
Yeah, we're just gonna give it an F. That's all. We've
already talked about it so much.
It's bad.
It's bad.
The behind the scenes are bad.
Weird that they're like, this is the hit. And you're like,
nope.
Is it?
Is it? So then we get Blue Beetle, which the second to last movie of the DCEU, and they're like, you know what? We're going to introduce a new character. Yeah. And it's not bad.
And also at the same time, we're going to announce that James Gunn is taking over everything.
And we don't know which characters are coming back or who's coming back. Supposedly Blue Beetle's coming back. Yeah. Remains to be seen. It's fine. It's a nice little origin story.
I saw it, and it is really, it's a good time.
Yeah.
You know, it feels very much like a movie that was probably made 15 years ago.
Yes, it very much feels like Iron Man, but if it was an alien instead of a
and it's very much like it's joke. But Zolo is really great. His sister is really great. I mean, George Lopez is delivering the
performance of his
career in the movie. And you're just like, this is really good.
But I think we'll be generous and give it a B.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It is definitely a good time. Watch it alone for just George Lopez.
I think if you're a Blue Beetle fan, you'll probably love all the secret Easter eggs that they have in there.
It's weird that we take a whole 10 minutes of that. And we're like, I'm sorry, if you have no idea what we're talking about, you're very lost.
Yeah. And then we get to the final one, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, a movie so afraid to kill anybody until the very end when it has one of the coolest deaths ever. But it's so wasted. You want to talk about Black Manta dying, spoiler alert. What Yaya is doing in this movie it's Dr. Evil. Yeah. It's the best thing I've ever seen. Yeah. The rest of the movie is the worst thing I've ever seen.
It's weird. And Randall Park's like, should I leave? And I think again this one suffers from some behind the scenes maybe drama, what no one really knows, and then also a lot of again, does it matter? I do not once you tell people none of this will matter in 5 years, no one cares. They're like, okay, well I guess I don't have to pay the money, and it's fine. You know, it's Martin Short is a big old fish.
Oh yeah, he is.
Yeah, and it's just bad.
It's just bad.
You know what? But props to them for really, really doubling down on like the first one we didn't mention has a lot of hey, protect the earth, protect the environment. We got to work together. And this one really, really doubles down on that.
Yeah.
So to really stick with that is big on them to not just be like, well, no. Hey, James, we got to cut all of this crap out. And it'd be like, no. This is the main part of the movie is we got to work together. But then they do just cop the ending from Black Panther.
100%.
100%.
So I think we're going to give us a D.
Yep.
And overall, I think the whole series is an F. The whole thing. The whole shebang.
The experiment.
Yeah. Because it not only is it a failed experiment, but just even DC fans, even the most die-hard, will agree that most of these movies are not good.
Yeah.
Whereas Marvel fans will be like, well, yeah, some of these movies are not great, but overall the characterization is great. This one, it's some of the movies are good, some of the characterization is good. Overall, I hate it.
Well, it's they just could not decide. Are we, there's a zig and a zag every time.
Yeah.
Hey, we don't really know what we're doing next still. Oh, hey, we're going to set up Justice League next one. Wait, what? It's oh, hey, Guardians did really well with needle drops.
Yeah.
Let's just litter Suicide Squad.
Yeah. It was always a response to Marvel. It was never its own thing.
Yeah.
And, for the longest time, Marvel was not the popular comic book movies. Yeah. It was DC for a long time.
Yeah.
And then they just lost it, and then they kept trying to play catch up. Now, hopefully, with James Gunn, they won't need the catch up. Maybe they already got the fries.
Maybe.
We'll see. But let us know what you think about these dumb movies.
I'm sure we'll get tons of release of Snyder cuts. Should we release our own cut of this video?
No, we shouldn't.